Welcome again. Refactoring to clean code vlog number 4. Today I will focus on delegation and inheritance, and I will show you how to change code architecture from the one that is based on inheritance into the one that is based on delegation. All the transformations will be performed live, so I also expect that you will take part in it. I will perform all the transformations and you are expected to follow behind me and do exactly the same or even more on your laptops. In order to be able to do so, you need to download the sources. They are available on GitHub, of course. If you haven't watched the previous vlog number 3, it might be better to come back and begin in this previous vlog, because today I begin from the end point of previous vlog. My name is Włodek Krakowski. I am engineering manager, coach and trainer. I deliver technical workshops about refactoring legacy code to different companies. You will find more details at www.refactoring.pl. Let me tell a few words about the business domain, which is easy enough to understand, what allows us to focus mainly on technical aspects of the solution. So the business domain is accountancy of a nursing house where different people are employed, they are rewarded differently. In this project, new requirements are coming, and the level of how easy it will be to introduce these new requirements is dependent on current shape of the project, of code quality. Is it extendable or not? So, based on requirements coming, new requirements, I would like to convince you that it will be more and more easier to implement these new requirements when the design is more healthy, more extendable and more testable. So when you look at the right side, you will notice that there are two ways when you implement new requirements. You implement them right away and then just clean the architecture or forget about this. Or there is second, much better option: prepare code architecture for given extension and then implement this extension. Such a preparation is called refactoring. But how to justify it? Quite often business people might complain that you are wasting time because you are cleaning your code instead of implementing new functionality. Let's have a look at refactoring definitions then, that I took from Refactoring book by Martin Fowler. Martin Fowler presents two definitions. The first one, this one, is a very technical one. It means that refactoring is restructuring software by applying a series of transformations without changing the behavior. And if this would be your explanation, then definitely you will be understood that you are burning money and wasting your time. But have a look at the second definition. A change made to the internal structure of software to make it easier to understand and easier to modify without changing its behavior. So if you explain it in this way, then indeed it makes sense that because you are preparing code architecture for new functionality, for new extension. You are making it cheaper and easier to modify. So it means that you are saving money because you will not be dealing with technical debt in a minute. And you will not leave, after adding new functionality, your code very difficult to maintain and to understand. What is the current code architecture then? It is exactly the same as we finished last time. It is based on inheritance. In the previous vlog, we got rid of GetObject anti-pattern issue, but we introduced inheritance. Let's move further the design and replace inheritance with delegation. So it is exactly what you see in the top left corner, you see the design based on inheritance, whereas on the right side of it, you will see delegation. Delegation into accountancy interface. Which one? It does not matter, because person class will talk to the accountancy abstraction interface. And this will allow us to introduce new accountancy mechanisms as we need. I am pretty sure that from time to time you read an article or watch a talk about code architecture, about clean architecture, and as Uncle Bob repeats from many years, classes should be loosely coupled and highly cohesive. Have a look at the left side. In case of inheritance, classes are tightly coupled, right? The subclass cannot exist without its superclass. But in case of delegation, classes are not tightly coupled, they are loosely coupled. They are associated only by the contract, that's true, but they can live independently. The transformation from inheritance into delegation will contains of 3 general steps. The first step is to apply single responsibility principle. Have a look at the bottom. I will introduce 3 classes that are going to deal with accountancy logic. Employee accountancy, volunteer accountancy, and intern accountancy. Here are the sources. We can run the tests to make sure that we begin with green card. The tests are green. And we can have a look at the design we ended up previously. As you can see, there is a person class, which is subclassed by 3 subclasses. And if we can decide to continue this design, we would need to introduce contractor person subclass, whereas we want to get rid of inheritance. In such a case, let's begin with extracting 3 new single responsibility separate new classes. I open the first subclass, employee person. I have these 5 methods we talked about last time, and I will put this logic into new class. Let me create the new class. So it will be employee accountancy. I have it. Let me create it. Alt Enter, create class employee accountancy. Here it is. And let's move logic from these 5 methods into the new class. Here is the first piece of logic. I will put this piece of logic into a new method. Let's give it a name, extracted get base salary. Okay, I will move this method using F6 into this new empty class. Have a look, here it is. I will adjust the name, Shift F6, so it is get base salary. And this way, as you can see, get base salary forwards the execution into employee accountancy get base salary. So this will be single responsibility class that deals only with accountancy. And the details like duration of night shift, the number of hours given person was working, will be passed as a parameter somehow. Let's do exactly the same for the second method. Extract a method. Extract it, get nighttime supplement. Okay, I want to move this method using F6. Oh, what's wrong? Field person.shift hours duration is protected. Let me check it. Cancel. Cancel. Oh, that's this one. But it is a protected field in the base class. Okay, I guess I know what to do. I will open a big menu, Ctrl-Alt-Shift-T, on Mac Ctrl-T, and I will apply encapsulate fields. What is it? It is a transformation that will replace each reading of this field into calling getter. Click refactor and let me see. Here, as you see now, the getter is being called. So now finally I think I can move this method using F6 into employee accountancy. Exactly, here it is. I see there is a small typo here. Let's do exactly the same for the third method. They look strange, I know, because they are not implemented yet, but definitely there would be some logic here and there will be some logic here as well. So let's extract the third method. Extract it, get overtime salary. Here it is. It will not be static. It was extracted as static because it seemed not to use any fields of the class. So I have it. I will move it into employee accountancy. Now I will adjust the names. This one as well, Shift F6, is used to rename a variable, a method, a field. The fourth method, extract it, get sick leave salary. Okay, it is not static because I want to move it using F6 into employee accountancy. And the last one, extract it, get bonus coins. I have it. I click F6, I move this one into employee accountancy. I will adjust the name of the method. And now, as you see, all methods, all 5 methods, will forward the execution into employee accountancy. I see that the parameter is not needed, but at some point it will be part of the interface, so trust me and add this one as a parameter, although this parameter is for a while not needed. It will be required quite soon. And have a look. Employee accountancy. This is a single responsibility class that deals with computation for regular employee. Soon we will do exactly the same transformations for volunteer person and intern person, these two. So we will extract intern accountancy and volunteer accountancy. You can see it here at the bottom. Volunteer accountancy, intern accountancy. I will do this for one of the subclasses, and for the sake of time, I will show you the ready code for all 3 subclasses. I am choosing volunteer person. This one is, as you see, slightly different. Get base salary returns 0 because volunteer is not earning money in our nursing house. So mark it, extract a method, Ctrl-Alt-M. On Windows it would be Command-Alt-M. extracted get base salary. Here is the second one. Extracted get night time supplement. The third one, extracted get overtime salary. Extracted get overtime salary. Extracted get sick leave salary. And the last one, extracted get bonus coins. Now I will move all these methods into oh, where? I forgot about this. I should begin with it. Into volunteer accountancy class. Option enter, create class. At the beginning it is empty, but I have already 5 methods to put here. Here is the first one. Move it into volunteer accountancy. Here is the second one. The third one, but it cannot be static. The third one. The fourth one. And the fifth one. I want them to accept this parameter because it will be part of the interface quite soon. So trust me for a while before you understand very clearly why I've done this. So all of them are taking parameters, volunteer accountancy. Let me adjust the names. Here it is. I have a second class. And in a minute, I will have the last class as well. And for the sake of time, I'm showing you the results of extracting, creating the last single responsibility class, intern accountancy. As you see, this one contains 5 methods, and intern person forwards the execution 5 times inside each method, and that's it. I want you to pay attention to these 3 classes, accountancy classes. What they do, they have 5 methods which could belong to the same interface. Let me check if I haven't done by coincidence any typo. Get base salary, get nighttime supplement, get overtime salary. Oh, this one. Shift F6, that's get sick leave salary, get bonus coins. Here is the Second one, get night time. Okay, there is a typo. I was too fast previously. Get night time supplement. Get overtime salary, get sick leave salary, get bonus coins. And the last one. Get base salary, get the same typo. Shift F6. Get nighttime supplement, get overtime salary, sick leave salary, get bonus coins. Okay, I have the same 5 methods with the same names. How about the parameter volunteer person, intern person, employee person? I guess we can find a common set of methods that are required from employee person to be available here. So what the contract should be? Have a look. Employee person, get night hours, get shift duration, get all hours, 1, 2 and 3. This 3 seems to be everything that I need to be able to perform my computation. But how about this one? What is it? Employee person dot get base salary. It looks like this one, get bonus coins, is dependent on this one. So most likely this call can be replaced with call to this method. So it should be get base salary that takes employee person. I hope that still all the tests are green. Let me check. So it should be Ctrl Shift F10, Ctrl Shift R, Command Shift R on Mac. Everything seems to be green. So I think we are ready to extract the interfaces, but I've done a few typos. So I will again put this one into the repository, so you will have a clear starting point if you want to do this by yourself. Okay, so I have 5 methods, 5 good names. I don't have good parameters yet. Employee person extends person. Person is the class that has these 3 methods I need to be part of my interface. It was get all hours, get night hours, and get shift duration somewhere. Here it is, get shift hours duration. Let's extract this interface from person then. Go into the big menu, Ctrl T on Mac, Ctrl Alt Shift T on Windows, refactor this, extract the interface. The name of the interface might be work records summary, get all hours, get night hours, and get shift duration. I guess that's all I need. Refactor. At this point, IntelliJ, as I extract interface, will search throughout the whole project and tries to find places where the class can be replaced with the interface, the new interface. Yes, please do this for me. Okay, it looks like there is something wrong with the newest IntelliJ, because at the bottom of this pop-up I should see the place, but it found, as you see, 2 places, and it wants to change the parameter person from work records summary parameter. So let it do this. We will run the test and we will see if something was broken or not. Work records summary, I have it. It is here. So let me run the tests first of all. Oh, I see. person assertion class has been adjusted, and it is broken by coincidence, I guess. Exactly, because as you see, this test, I haven't explained the test, you can go through this by yourself. It should be based on person, not on the interface. I guess now it should be almost fine. Here it should be person as well. Yes, that's this place. And finally, all the tests are green. Let me have a look. The person class implements the interface. I want this interface to become parameter of my 5 methods. How to do this? Let's open for each case here employee person. Go into the big menu, please. Ctrl-Alt-Shift-T on Windows, Ctrl-T on Mac. Use interface where possible. Choose this interface, click Refactor, and it found these 5 methods, so it will rename the parameter from employee person into work records summary. Let me check, have a look. As you see, it is work records summary everywhere. So we are not using person class any longer. Intern accountancy. This class should take as well as parameters to these methods the interface, this one, work record summary, instead of intern person. Let me open intern person then. Go into the big menu. Use interface where possible. The big menu was available under Ctrl-Alt-Shift-T on Windows and Linux and Ctrl-T on Mac. Choose the interface, that's this one. Click Refactor, and as you see, IntelliJ found all these 5 methods where the parameter, the type of the parameter will be replaced from intern person into work records summary. Let me see. Did it happen? Yes, exactly. It happened. And the last one, the last pair, volunteer accountancy and volunteer person. Volunteer accountancy, as you see, 5 methods, taking volunteer person as a parameter, whereas the parameter should be, as you remember, use interface where possible, the parameter should be work records summary. Let me check. As you see, each of these 5 methods is taking the interface as a parameter. And now, the ice on the cake, I can, as it was present on the picture, have a look at the bottom, I can introduce accountancy interface that is implemented by employee accountancy, volunteer accountancy, and intern accountancy. Employee accountancy. Go into the big menu, Ctrl-Alt-Shift-T or Ctrl-T. Extract the interface. Mark all 5 methods. Enter the name of the interface, accountancy. Click Refactor. As you see, when you extract an interface, IntelliJ can look for places where the class can be replaced with the interface. As you see, the interface is extracted, and moreover, employee person class now has a field, but this field refers to the interface, not to the class. And these methods, these 5 methods, as you see, do only one thing. They delegate the execution into the accountancy. Which one? They do not care, because they talk to the interface. This is only an assignment that might be replaced with something else at some point. Let's perform corresponding change, the same corresponding change into the other person classes, intern person and volunteer person. Intern accountancy, so it should implement the interface, accountancy interface. What's wrong? Oh, these classes should be, these methods should be, of course, public if they are going to implement the interface. Option Enter on Mac, Alt Enter on Windows and Linux, and make it public. Of course, you could type public manually, but why? As it is automated. Volunteer accountancy also implements accountancy interface, and these methods should be public. And finally, I can open each of them, go into the big menu and find Use Interface as where possible. Here it is, accountancy. Click OK and let me check. Intern person. Exactly, here it is. This line, as you see, the field refers to the interface, not to the implementation. How about the third one, volunteer accountancy? Go into the big menu, use interface where possible, choose this interface, accountancy, and this transformation will replace the class with the interface. Did it happen? Let me check. It's this line exactly. It happened. And now I have the interfaces, accountancy interface, work records summary interface, and pay attention that these 3 classes, employee person, intern person, volunteer person, are or will be quite soon redundant, because all they do, as you see, is forwarding the execution into accountancy interface. Here is employee person, it forwards the execution into accountancy. Volunteer person, it forwards the execution into accountancy. Let me finalize the second step before we jump into the third final one. I think that this package might contain too many classes, so let me put some of them into a new package called accountancy. So it should contain this one and this one and this one, these 3 definitely. How about this interface? Currently it is used by these 3 person classes, but in the first step I want to get rid of them, and then accountancy field will be placed inside person and assigned correctly, of course, with one of these 3 implementations. So I think that for the future I can put accountancy here and I will check it in. And finally, it is time for the final step. called collapse hierarchy. What it is? Collapsing a hierarchy, getting rid of redundant inheritance. Here we can see the project and have a look at this package. I hope you remember when last time I explained that the classes that are extending the base person class, employee person, intern person, volunteer person, are hidden inside the package. They are not public. They are created by the factory here, but this factory, as you see, returns the base class person. So these three classes are not visible, not used directly by the outside packages, and therefore it will be much easier to remove them. What they do? Again, let me repeat this. They only delegate the execution, as you see, into accountancy. Of course, there is one more thing we need to fix, which is the field accountancy. And in order to remove it, we can move this field up. We can pull it up into the base class. How to do this? Open the big menu, Ctrl-T on Mac, Linux, Windows, Ctrl-Alt-Shift-T, Ctrl-Alt-Shift-T. Pull members up. Mark the methods. Mark the field. Do not mark make abstract. Click refactor. And as you see now, employee person class contains only the constructor, almost nothing. And the person class contains the field, now accountancy. Of course, this one should be different, but the class talks to the interface. So we will adjust the assignment in a minute, and should contain all the methods. They are here. These methods delegate the execution into accountancy. How about the other subclasses? I think they could look the same, but the only difference will be the parameter, the employee accountancy. Yes, the implementation of this interface. In such a case, let me move this assignment first of all into the constructor and then make it a parameter of the constructor. Click here, Option Enter on Mac, Alt Enter on Windows, move initializer to constructor. Here it is. Make it parameter. Ctrl Alt P, Command Option P on Mac. Oh, the parameter, I guess, should be of type that refers to the interface, so press twice Command Option P. I have it, introduce parameter of type accountancy, click refactor. I have it, as you see, I have the last additional parameter. Let me open employee person class. As you see, it calls the base class constructor here and passes correct accountancy, employee accountancy, because it is employee person. How about the other two classes? Intern person, volunteer person. Intern person. This one defines accountancy and assigns intern accountancy, forwards the execution into accountancy, true, and it was done automatically, and here it passes employee accountancy. It is result of extracting parameter that we've done. But this one is not used because it is overridden here by these classes. So if I removed these methods, I should break the test. Let me run the tests without removing these methods. All of them are green, but if I remove these methods, I will do this. I'm removing these 5 methods, the tests should be broken. Exactly. Some of the tests, intern tests, are broken. Why? Because here it is employee accountancy, whereas it should be intern accountancy. Let me check again. Everything should be back green. Yes, it is, exactly. Let's do the same quickly for volunteer person. So now these 5 methods are here redundant. Now the tests should be broken, trust me, because here I've got employee accountancy, whereas this should be volunteer accountancy. Oh, now this field is not used, so Option Enter, Alt Enter, Save Delete. Here it is, volunteer person, class to get rid of, to remove, intern person. Here, accountancy, as you see, field accountancy is never used. Alt Enter, Option Enter on Mac, remove it. And this one also, as you see, contains nothing else but sole constructor. It looks like it is time to get rid of these 3 subclasses. Collapse hierarchy. In order to get rid of these 3 subclasses, I need to just stop using them. They are used here. Employee person, intern person, volunteer person. It looks like they have the same set of parameters as person's constructor, which is here, but the last constructor, I guess, accountancy, is missing here. Have a look. We don't have the last constructor because it is fixed here. It's missing here and here. So let's add in each of these subclasses the missing parameter. Here it is, the missing parameter. Command Option P, Enter. I have it. Intern person. This one. Command Option P, Enter. And finally, the last one. Command Option P. I have it. And this way, when I open Person Factory, I have the last parameter, the accountancy, provided correctly. All the tests should be green because I used automated refactorings. Exactly, as you see, all the tests passed. And it looks like I can return person, I can return person, and I can return person here instead of the subclasses. What's wrong? Oh, it is abstract, but I guess it doesn't contain any abstract methods. So I can remove the abstract person class, here it is, and this way, as you see, employee class is never used. Option Enter, Save Delete. Intern person class, the subclass, is never used. Option Enter, Save Delete. And the last one, volunteer person, Option Enter, can be removed. Now the package people that I've introduced last time seems to be redundant. I will put Person Factory into the top package, and I will remove people subpackage. This way, as you see, we collapsed hierarchy of person classes. There is one single person class. That could be final, although it is not that common in Java. In Kotlin, as you know, all classes are final unless defined open. To keep this architecture, I will put this as additional commit into the branch. I wonder if you noticed emerging design pattern, the strategy design pattern. The accountancy interface that hides different strategies for counting money that the company owned to the person that was taking care of people. The person class delegates the execution into accountancy, into which one it does not matter. We began with small classes by applying single responsibility principle. These small classes became hidden by interfaces when we applied interface segregation principle, and now we found the emerging design pattern. Have a look. Pyramid of refactoring, the term I discovered long time ago, and you can see the way and you can see the best sequence to apply solid principles. Begin with small classes, small interfaces, and then you will notify open-close principle. Now it is very easy to add one more implementation of strategy. At the end of each good exercise workshop, time for homework should come. So I would like you to get involved. As you have 3 different code architectures, you can compare. Got object anti-pattern. We began with last time. Inheritance-based solution we began with today. And delegation-based solution we ended up with today. So sit together with your team, watch this video, and begin a discussion. Compare these 3 architectures. Together, you can try to implement new requirements and compare how easy it is to do this in case of all 3 architectures. And is the architecture still clear enough and extendable? Does it remain still extendable after implementing these new requirements? I will put a document with these new requirements, a PDF, together with the sources. When you conduct a discussion in your team, I guess that more proposals for new next improvements will come up. I will really appreciate if you share what you've learned in your teams. It will be great if you leave me a comment about what you've learned, a few sentences, how you like it and how you would improve it. I'll also appreciate if you give a like to this video or subscribe to the channel. You will find more information and more content at www.refactoring.pl. Thank you for watching this video and see you next time.